Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. All right, I know I normally take Friday, or not Friday, but Saturday and Sunday off, but I felt compelled to come on with a message. All right, so I don't have a mug because I've already had my coffee this morning, and but the one I chose was Let Your Light Shine. It feels more important than ever for you to be in your authenticity, and be your authentic self. Oh, hold on a minute. Let's get this little guy on. These are battery operated, so I don't know. I only use them when I record, so hopefully the batteries will last a little longer. But I like the light. All right, anyway, so let's get to it. The reason I came on, I want to do a message with a specific purpose, and I've asked Spirit to help me to know how to present this and what to say. So it's about synchronicities. And yeah, I'm getting my in my active mode, in my exercise mode. So yeah. Anyway, so that's why I look the way I do. But so synchronicities and what that means for you, and how to be aware of the synchronicities, and that's simply by being alert. A lot of people will go through the day, or if they walk down the street, or if they're in their car or whatever, and just the busy brain takes over. I get it. I've been there. I do that a lot. However, if you are mindful, and when you intentionally ask Spirit to show you signs or help you to understand a situation, look particularly toward nature. That seems to be the groove for me. But if it's for you, it could be songs, it could be music related, it could be related to things people say randomly out of nowhere. So I'm going to give you an example. Yesterday, the last 2 months have been, in my personal life, incredibly hard. Okay? Just not going to make any bones about that. And for a lot of you, it has been as well. We are in that season of change. So, and I think the change is going to lead us to better places. And we are coming out of that. All right? So, out of the emotional turmoil connected to it. But I wanted to ask, for me and for a friend, we just did some work together to help someone else out, and it was a little bit intense, to say the least. So anyway, so I wanted to ask, I did ask Spirit. I didn't want to, I did ask Spirit. I'm like, show me what I need to know. Now, it's how you interpret those symbols that are important, and if you stay open to the voice of Spirit. So I repeatedly got the feeling of calm. I repeatedly got the feeling of being surrounded and protected and cushioned. And then even on camera, or on the video, a couple of times, a spirit came through with a message specifically for me. And the message was, and it's one I keep coming back to, fear is the biggest monster you will ever encounter. Fear. That's how things wiggle into your subconscious. That's how things wiggle into your mind. That's how things wiggle into your heart that are not serving the highest good and not serving your best good. So, ask your teams to surround you and protect you, and know they are. Let your light shine even brighter if you feel threatened in any way whatsoever by the living or the dead or whatever. Hi, little baby. My little sweet girl. So know that they are with you. Know that. Start a meditation practice to show honor to them. Because if you just say, hey, I need your help, and then you don't do any work, they will still do it. But in my mind, that's just a little disrespectful. So, make an effort to be aware of all the signs they give us. And then show gratitude and say thank you. Now, you do what you want to do. You're an adult. But I'm going to give you the example from my day yesterday. So, and actually for 2 full days in a row. I went for a walk. And just an easy, simple neighborhood walk. And I found a lot of hawks, a lot of crows. And they're always around anyway. But this time, they left feathers. Now, be careful where you live, and if you have the right or don't have the right to collect raptor feathers, that's going to be a personal issue for you. But anyway, so, baby. and there was harm to none. It was in the process of grooming that they fell. And then on the walk, as I continued, which I left, two really long, I would say about 4 to 5 inches long, about 5 inches long actually, solid white feathers, 2 of them in totally different areas. Whenever I see that, that is a message to me that I am surrounded, that the light is around me, that we are protected. And then when I just started on the way home, there was a little tiny pebble in the road. And it was part of a big gravel dump, I'm sure, but I don't know where because I couldn't find where the rest of the load had been. But this was a little tiny piece of yellow rock that had a lot of mica in it because it was very shiny. And I thought, oh, how pretty and how odd. I mean, it was the size of my thumbnail, you know. And I very clearly heard, pick it up. Pick it up. So I did. It was a gift. And it was that golden, and I asked, what is this representative of? And it's the golden light that shimmers around us when we are in our highest and best. So it's important to remember that. It is important to remember that karma plays out within a lifetime. That is my belief. You may not be around to see it for someone else, but trust me, people's lives will bear out their truth. I've said that for decades. People's lives will bear out their truth. Please remember that. You don't have to do or think anything negative. Now, there was another synchronicity that happened. There are a lot of birds where I live, a lot of birds. And I saw a completely white heron flying overhead. Now that was another day, but it was still within a 3-day range now. So we're talking about, at first it started out 1, now it's 2, 3 days, 4, whatever. So those are medicine birds. And when you see a completely white one, and in this area, you don't see them often. And usually it's a blue heron, which I love, but this was a single white heron that was flying overhead. Very uncommon around here. And it gave me so much peace because I understood there is goodness around me and any connected to me. And those people in their own rights, not because they're connected to me. I don't want to make it sound like that, but because I was asking for me and others around me, so that are in this work. So, but after the walk yesterday, I got home. I know this is long and rambling, but as usual, I feel like I'm in a rush, and I'm not. But I saw a hummingbird outside my window, and it had actually landed. And then it tried to drink from a little hosta flower. And I've kind of given up on my yard, I'll be honest. So I immediately mixed up some sugar water and put it in a little bowl and set it up kind of high and put it on something in the back, and hopefully it will find it, or something will. It's very, very shallow, so nothing will be harmed or could get stuck in there. Years and years, decades actually ago, I had a very lucid and vivid dream about both frogs and hummingbirds. And they came to me when I was at a very low point in my life. They came to me, and I was lying in this dream, I was lying in a ravine, and I was unable to move. I couldn't get up. I was just so worn out. And these two beings looked at me and said, "We're here to bring you joy, and we will stay with you, and we will lift your spirits, and we will stay with you until you are strong enough to get up out of this ditch, out of this trench." And they did. And I've always been grateful since. So when I saw that dragonfly, I thought, we're coming to the end of this cycle. We're coming to the end of this. So notice the synchronicities. Now, I'm sure many of you have already stopped watching, and that's okay, because maybe this wasn't meant for you to see. But for those of you who are in the throes of wondering, what do I do next? And is Spirit around me? And if you are feeling a little bit alone, you're not. Spirit is always there. And now is the time to embrace the adventure. All right, so let's do a quick card pull. Okay, this is the Rana George Lenormand. She adds extra cards to this deck that have to do with psychic awareness and knowing, the spirit realm knowing. It's a really cool deck. And on the back, of course, they're a little bitty. It's a really nice box. And on the back, we have the Hamsa. All right. With an evil eye in it. So it is a protection talisman and the all-knowing hand of God. All right, so the one that came out, well, actually didn't come out while I was shuffling and talking, clouds popped out. All right, so clouds in this deck very often will mean just it's not a smooth sailing kind of day, right? It's a little bit of difficulty. However, that is the first card. And these clouds are rapidly moving. And what I heard was they are moving away. So the clouds are moving away. You are moving out of the troubled waters and out of the troubled sky patterns. Because the next card, and we go from a 6 to a 3, because this is card 30. This one did jump out. We have lilies, abundance. Try to avoid a scarcity mindset because that is what you will manifest. You are getting ready. You are being reborn. That's what I'm hearing. You are experiencing a rebirth. Yeah. And then we have card 34, which is a 7. So we go from a 6 to a 3 and a 7. 2 mystical numbers back to back, the 3 and the 7. The 6 is, it's not a bad number at all, but I always think of that as, it's work. It's a work number. You're working to move through, whether it's literal or emotional, whatever. I think the 5 is more change happening, and 6, in my mind, I always perceive as you are working hard. Well, you don't have to keep working so hard because Spirit has your back with the cards 3 and the cards 7 when you add the numbers together individually. With the lilies and the rebirth, you are coming into a new way of being, and you are your life is getting ready to change significantly is what I get. If this is your reading, remember, this is a general reading. You can't work to make it fit, and we have to all do our own work as evidenced by the card 6 and the clouds. But if we do that work, it's moving out. All right, fish. Fish, definitely abundance. And the ocean, beautiful waves. Now, this is card 14. Remember what I said about if you add it together, it's a 5, and 5 being a card of change? You've got the fox. Now, a fox looks out for its own. A mother fox is very territorial and very protective. However, we don't see any kit around. We don't see any little babies around. So, fox can have 2 meanings. It could mean keep your eyes open. There could be wily influences around you, and I believe that's the way we are to read it in this instance. So we are looking at the option of keep your eyes open while you're experiencing the gifts of renewal and abundance. Somebody may not be entirely trustworthy. But this fox is looking behind, or it's like on its way. So I believe that is moving out with the clouds. All right. All right. And a man. So there's a man waiting for you. I feel like there's someone coming. Now that could be male, female, depending on who you are and your gender and what your proclivities or orientation might be. It doesn't really matter. So there is someone that is waiting for you. Do we need to be worried about that fox with that person? No. Okay. I spoke to, this makes sense now. This absolutely makes, boy, this makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then I took the ones off the bottom, and the one on the top is the whip. And in this instance, I think it means passion. All right, so here's what we've got. I'm going to go through all of these and show them to you. I was reading them individually, and I got the message, be careful doing that. And I kept doing it anyway when I got to the fox. So let me show you what we have, and then we'll dig into what it actually means. This, yes. The first three up through the fish, yes. And even the fox. But, all right, so we have clouds, lilies, fish, a fox. This is where it veers. Now, this man is not a young man. This man is an immature man and is watching you, much like this fox. Be wary of anyone who you feel like could have an ulterior motive, because you are getting ready to find what would be an emperor. You are getting ready to have a fully grown man with the emotional intelligence of a fully grown man or woman who is grounded, settled, and not just waiting and watching. This feels very opportunistic. This is the one who's coming in. Okay? This is the one who's coming in. These two cards belong together for sure. Okay? The wily fox and this young person. How do I know that? Because Spirit's telling me. And when this person enters the scene, everything else ends. There will be an ending to that past betrayal. Ooh, that's what I just heard. Interesting. Okay, so this must represent that, the fox and this person who is not young in age, but maybe in experience or life experience or just maturity level. This is a mature individual. When that cycle comes to a close, yeah. And this one is card 28, so add it together, it's a 10. Yeah. So that is not the beginning of a cycle, but this represents, how do we have two 28s? We do, we have two 28s. Oh, this is fascinating. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have two cards 28. Two versions. This is your new beginning, not this one. So someone may try to pull the wool over your eyes. That's what I'm getting. So this immature individual, male or female, it doesn't matter, may try to pull the wool over your eyes. Don't fall for it. There is a grown individual who wants to get your attention and will be everything you want. Or this could be you for that matter. Now, card 8. Close out cycles that don't serve you. Trust the ones that do. How will you know? Trust your body and give it time. You don't have to do anything immediately. You don't have to rush. I always feel like I'm in a rush. You're not in a rush. This card is not anchoring you down as in not giving you options. This card, what I'm getting means you will end up in the right place at the right time, in the right situation. Because you are represented by this fully grown individual. And I'm going to say individual rather than man and woman. So these two seem like a pair. And in the way that they are showing up on my table, they're looking at each other. Yeah. So if you could see it, they're actually looking at each other. Now, we have a bear and we have the stars. So the bear is stability and groundedness and protection. You are protected in all ways. And you will have your spiritually based victory. If you watch the signs, synchronicities, and if you are in tune with your team, with spirit, and okay, this is what I'm getting. If you've always done things, if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to end up following the same patterns. What you've always done, has that worked for you? So that's the message. You have a lot of really good things coming. And that's why I needed to make this video, apparently. You have a lot of good things coming. However, the signs and synchronicities are important. The signs and synchronicities, it's your ability to manifest. What is it that you really want from your life? What is it that you really want in your life? It's time to give that serious thought and ask for guidance. Ask to be shown if you're on the right path. Okay? All right. Now, and nothing is too small or too big. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be paranoid. And as a friend would say, sometimes a crow is just a crow. But if they're swooping down and looking at you or leaving you gifts, yeah, it's more than that. All right, let's get something from the Angels and Auras deck, because I want to round this out with a card from this deck, because I feel like we need some final clarification that is maybe a little otherworldly. I'm in here, baby. One of the cats. Okay, so I just opened it up in the middle. That's what I was instructed to do. Self-respect and worthiness on that side. Open your heart to love. Open your heart, but keep your eyes open. And remember, you are not in a rush. Now, the card that was the one that, when I opened the deck, was the very first one I saw. And this one has come up before. So apparently we need to connect with this being of light. Shamuel or Shamwell, whichever way you'd like to pronounce it. Happiness, vibrancy, energy, and hope. And according to this depiction, this is card 1, a new beginning. Light green. Beings of light will never steer you in the wrong direction. Oh, and to spell that, in case you're wondering, Shamuel is C-H-A-M-U-E-L. Shamuel. All right, or Shamuel. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna go see if I can connect to that being. Hello, baby. All right, be well, take care, have a great weekend. I'm still gonna try to get something out in nature, but this weekend is starting to get pretty tight in terms of my responsibilities. So if not this weekend, then I will try to do that on Monday. Yeah. All right. I'm sending you love and gratitude. Thank you so much. And ask Spirit to show you a message through a synchronicity. There are no coincidences. Please remember that. The only time something is orchestrated is if it's by a human and it's a manipulation ploy. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Take care, be well, and we will talk really soon.